media. Blockchain news, crypto crews, and interviews, keeping you tuned in to the ecosystem.
Hello and welcome to Core Radio. This is Lutz, coming to you live on Tuesday night. And today we have a very interesting show, possibly. If you're the type that likes to find greenery, this is probably the show for you. We also have a good technology on. They're using the Waves technology, which is pretty cool. We like that. We like to see one using the other. That's nice when that happens, because we all work together. And today I have two guests on the show. I know one's name is Gabriel. And who's the other guy?
This is Michael Wagner, founder of the platform.
Michael Wagner, founder. One of the fathers of the platform. Founding fathers. And Gabe, what do you do?
I'm also a founder. We sort of developed this project together.
Oh, so there's only two founders, just both of you?
Two founders, and we have a large development team as well.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys having us on. This is a great opportunity to help spread the message and talk a little bit about what we have in development. So thank you guys for getting us on today.
Hey, there's no guys, all right? It's me. Only me. I get the credit over here. I'm giving my credit to other people, all right?
Fair enough. Thank you for having us on.
Hey, no problem, man. My pleasure to have you on. So from what I understand, Tokes is a coin, right? That's going to be coming out. Now, the coin works on the Waves platform, or is it a separate platform?
Gabe, you want me to just take a stab at this first question?
Go right ahead.
Yeah, so Tokes is really more than just the digital currency, and that's why we're calling it the Tokes platform. So we've got several facets to our business. You've touched on the first one. It is the digital currency that we intend to utilize to facilitate transactions, specifically within the legal cannabis industry here in the United States. So that's kind of the first part of our business. It is a token. We are launching on top of Waves, so it's an asset that's going to be issued through Waves. But the other components and elements of our business that we actually think make us more unique than many of the other digital currency projects out right now include our mobile application that's currently in development. So that's going to again help facilitate the transactions with the customers and the merchants in the cannabis industry. We want to make sure that transaction is easy to get your currency into your phone, and then easy to transact again with the merchants in store. A couple of other nice unique features with the mobile application will be a dispensary locator tool, specifically highlighting those.
Take it easy, man. You're spilling all the beans in the first 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I guess the short answer to your question is yes, we're developing on top of Waves, and will be a digital currency. And then we have some unique features with our platform that we think set us apart from other cryptocurrency projects.
All right, we'll get into that application, that mobile application, in a minute. I just want to cover the simple stuff first. So it's a token on the Waves platform, and how is it going to, if somebody was interested in purchasing the tokens, how would they go about that?
They can use our web portal. We've got an ICO that launched about 10 days ago. Incent is powering our bill, and they're also handling our escrow, and they can donate basically using any cryptocurrency they like.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. So we're taking directly Bitcoin. We have a Shapeshift plugin, so any alternative currencies that you want to convert to Bitcoin and use as an investment, we can accept those. And then we are directly taking Waves as well as a partner of ours, and again, building on top of their platform.
All right, so you can use your Waves to invest into this new ICO. And this new ICO. Now let's get into it. Now that everybody knows, it's still in progress. You can still buy it. Uh, it's all about the marijuana, right?
Yeah,
You can
that's
buy
a
and sell.
yeah, that's a big part of it. That's certainly a big part of the platform, and really, security measures for our partners at the industry level in again legal marijuana. We know that there's a very serious challenge and security risk with these facilities because they're legal at the state level, they're not legal at the federal level. So unfortunately, they're what's considered to be unbankable, which means they can transact with customers in the state, but they must do so in fiat physical cash, and then they're not allowed to go deposit those with the banking system. So they give up all of the FDIC, kind of banking security measures, plus the security of just having your cash and assets stored in a bank.
Right. They can't take it away from you, unless you give them your security password to your Trezor wallet. But so you guys are planning on putting up a store. Is this a store? How is this going to work? Say I'm a customer, right? And I got a medical marijuana license, right? Let's just pretend I did. And I wanted to, get some stuff, so some of the Kush tea. How do I go about that?
You want me to take this one, Mike?
Yeah, go ahead, jump in there.
Well, first of all, you wouldn't need a recreational card or a medical card, as recreational marijuana just passed on the ballot in Nevada, which is the first market that we're targeting. But essentially, we'll have a mobile app. They can come into the dispensary. They pick out the product that they want, whether it's actual flower or a cannabis-related product. And we're not necessarily just adopting this for us to have a storefront in which to sell cannabis and cannabis-related products, but we're looking to get adoption at one of the many dispensaries, actually many of the dispensaries in Las Vegas, as well as the surrounding areas. And part of that will be getting adoption of the point of sale system that we're developing within the dispensaries as well. They scan a quick QR code and the tokes are transacted, and that's it. And it keeps these businesses from having to use cash primarily and then store things in cash vaults.
Are you working with Incent? Are they helping you with creating that system, the POS system?
No, we actually have a private developer that we're utilizing. We worked with him in the past, and he's basically fleshing that out for us, kind of as we speak, actually.
All right, so I'm a customer. I want to buy some good stuff legally. Then, what do? I go on the app, or I go on a website, or is there a store, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's all marijuana purchases are going to be facilitated the exact same way you would do it in any one of the legal states right now, which is to say you do need to go into a dispensary, you do need to go into a licensed business that can already sell cannabis and make the purchase through them. So our digital currency just removes those cash assets out of this current storage mechanism that they use, which is essentially storing on site in most cases, and we facilitate an easier transaction through an electronic currency.
Gotcha. Now, how do they recognize that electronic currency? I know a lot of these dispensaries are being highly looked at right now, right? And if they, I'm sure they have to record and show something at the end of the day to some governmental agency that none of us are fond of. How do they show that they made a transaction for Tokes?
Well, that's part of the beauty of the blockchain, right? I mean, it's obviously a distributed ledger that's public to the extent that you want it to be. I'm sure we'll get into this later. We've got some anonymity features that we want to work into our platform, but I mean, at the end of the day, the blockchain itself does record all of those transactions. And so for these entities that do accept our token, maybe they need to run a report at the end of the day that says how many transactions did we have in Tokes. They can run that report, and then they can deliver that along with the rest of the reporting, their financial reporting, and be fully compliant with the IRS and wherever else they need to be for tax purposes.
Got you. So they buy the Tokes, and then because they bought it with fiat, they can use it as some type of token system to buy what they want whenever they want. So they have to buy the Tokes first, the customers, and then walk in the dispensary, and they can utilize the Tokes as if it was fiat and buy what they want.
Correct. And that functionality will be built into the mobile app. They'll be able to transact from Bitcoin and potentially other payment gateways to obtain Tokes and then make a purchase. We're trying to make it as simple and as quick as possible.
Oh, nice. So you walk into the dispensary, I can see all the different types, purple haze, right? You got all different types. And you just walk up to it and you click it with your phone, right? You got the little barcode right there. You do a little picture taking, and boom, transaction done.
That's essentially the idea.
That sounds cool. How about incent? Are you going to be giving some incentives through every transaction?
So currently our partnership with Incent is more on the back end. So part of the actual ICO management, they've not only assisted us with the ICO portal itself, which they do have as a private solution to other people looking at running ICOs, but we're also, they're acting to a degree as advisors on the project with us. So we've worked with them pretty closely, a couple of weeks prior to our launch, and maintain communication regularly with them. And you mentioned some incent bonus. We do have, as part of that partnership, when you make an investment in our ICO, 1% of your total investment is rewarded to you completely as a bonus in incent tokens as well.
Oh, nice. Spread the love. So I'm a customer. I come in, I buy my product, right? And the receipt is going to be on the blockchain. Sounds like a good idea. So how about if I wanted to be how about if I was the store owner? How would I implement your token system, your Tokes system? Say I own one of these dispensaries, right? Which is popular now. People are spreading to get the license everywhere, right? How would I want to? How could I implement this system?
This is part of the infrastructure of our system that Gabriel is largely developing out. So, Gabe, do you want to jump in on this one?
Sure. If you take a look at the tiers on our website, it mentions part of our outreach to the dispensaries. Depending on the funding goal that we meet, one part of that will actually be sort of implementation of the point of sale systems at the dispensaries. That is, we're developing a mobile app. It'll be available on iOS and Android. The flip side of that is that the dispensaries themselves will likely be using some sort of tablet system, whether it's an iPad, an Android-based tablet, that'll have the point of sale side of the app with a similar interface, but then a little more robust features like account management, day-to-day sales tracking, the ability to export your receipts, etc., as well as the asset pegging feature that we're implementing. So they'll have their own similar version of the Tokes app, but with more robust features for the business.
Oh, cool! Like a back end to some type of CMS.
Essentially, yes.
Anyway, so so you're building this app? How is this app going to work? Is it like installing Joomla or WordPress, or how does the app work?
It should be much more simple than that. We're really looking to have the app essentially being fully built. There'll be some areas where there's modifications that might be specific to the dispensary. Obviously, you want different product categories, the ability to put your inventory in there, to have maybe a little more robust tracking of the types of sales that you're making day to day. But we're fully building this out. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for the dispensary owner to adopt the platform. It should be plug and play. The fact that we're in Las Vegas, which we're really anticipating being the United States sort of tourist destination for cannabis, if you will. We know that Colorado and Washington already have seen a big boon in tourism. We've got a bonus because we're Vegas. We've got a lot of entertainment here. But our plan is to basically implement these point of sale systems into the dispensaries, train the staff, train the owners on all of the features, and have them ready to go, within 24 hours.
All right, yeah, you do have the incentive. You got, that's strippers. Anyway, so they could easily implement this. So is it a program? I'm still trying to understand. Is this a program, like an executable file on Windows, that people will be able to install a program?
We're planning to make it primarily iOS and Android native. If you've noticed, a lot of smaller businesses these days are sort of ditching the traditional point of sale system for more tablet-based systems that are wireless, networked. There may be some back-end portions that are Windows-based, but right now we're primarily focusing on the iOS and Android aspects of the development.
Gotcha. So you got 5 employees, you got five iPhones or 5 Android phones, and boom, just make them walk around with their phones. What do you want? You want some of this? And they buy it with the phone. The transactions all done on the phones.
Exactly. It should be as simple as just pulling up the App Store, for whatever operating system you happen to prefer and run, and downloading and installing that app right on your phone. And obviously, for our point of sale systems, that would all come pre-installed, essentially pre-wired and ready to go for the dispensaries.
Nice. So those other features you were talking about, is there like an inventory type of you could keep track of your inventory and stuff like that?
That will be an option. Obviously, some, or probably all dispensaries are going to have some sort of point of sale system already implemented. They're still going to be dealing in cash transactions in addition to Tokes. So whether or not we allow for integration into their existing point of sale system, or some easy way to export the daily sales and then update the existing inventory with the system they're already using, that's going to depend on the needs of the particular dispensary. But there is that possibility. Within the mobile app, for the user side, going to have a product locator. So there's going to be an incentive for these dispensaries to say, hey, look, we've got this particular edible you might be looking for. Or we've got this hot strain of the week that maybe other dispensaries haven't received yet. Year to year, if you look at the cannabis cup, the secret cup, there's new strains coming about with different potencies, different flavors, different terpenes, etc. And the discerning user is out there on the internet looking for these new strains. So there's some incentive to add these emerging products to our mobile app, allowing the users to find them. So yes.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. If you want some brownies, you want some of those new gummy candies, whatnot, there's going to be some type of navigation, There's a gummy candy like five blocks away.
I do think it's that's fantastic. I do think it's important just to point out that our point of sale is not intended to be an outright replacement of their current system. As Gabe said, it's really going to be a supplement, an add-on that helps them utilize our technology with the people that would like to transact in Tokes.
All right. I was just trying to get a feel of if I was, a business owner and I wanted to implement, with my system, how would that be done? So, would I just have my employees walking around with phones, or, is it installed on my main computer? But I think we're past that at this point. So I had a great idea just now. Why don't you make it like a navigation app, man, so people could find where the goods are, in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's already being implemented. We've a dispensary locator, and then within the dispensary locator, there'll be product indexes as well. So that's sort of built in, and the users might be able to leave reviews on the various dispensaries. We're still making decisions about that, but yeah.
You should also combine ice cream shops with it. Ice cream, candy stores. right? You know,
That's not a terrible idea. The other day, I saw some social media for a particular dispensary in town that was cross promoting a gelato restaurant. Believe it or not. So,
dude,
yeah,
you know,
not a
you
terrible
got
idea actually.
the munchies. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this app does that too. What do you want? We got
Right.
munchies all over the place. And then you find the one that's still open.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind. We're writing that down as we speak, so we'll give you credit if we integrate that into the app.
I want 10%. All right,
Sounds
5%. 5. Oh wait, 10%. Back to 10.
Well, 7.5, but only of the ice cream sales.
All right. So let's see. So we covered that. We covered the customer point of view. We covered the how about your point? Uh, so you guys are working on it together? Both of you are the developers. You have more people.
Mike, do you want to tell them about the team?
Yeah, so I mean, Gabe and I are the leads on this. Really created the concept, identified the need for the platform itself, and worked through all of the various initiatives that we wanted to target with the platform. But on top of that, we obviously have some guys on our creative side that are working through the app development. That's more specifically Tim Denew and his experience with front end development and graphic design. As far as backend right now, and keep in mind that we've got a lot of components to work through, so we're going to be expanding our team. But on the back end, we have Wolf Zero. Most people are familiar with him through his minor optimizations and development. He works closely with Christy Minahan, so we have recruited both of them on board for current backend development on the software. Anthony Grevich, also on the team, he really has a specialty in network engineering. So, we know that we're going to have potentially have some challenges with integrating the POS systems in with these dispensaries. So we want to make sure we have somebody strong on that network admin or network engineering side. He fulfills that role. And then John Tran is our community manager and really behind getting us exposure out there into the community and making sure that we can spread this message.
Oh, nice. So you got a network engineer to connect all the connections to you, because that's important. And you have a social media manager. He's the guy that creates 40 different or 50 or 60, as many as possible, different social media accounts, right? And he manages them all. How are you guys planning on marketing this?
So I mean, this is one avenue right here, just having talks like this with guys like you out here in the community. But we also are proactive on Bitcoin Talk through our announcement thread. We have a Slack channel that's Tokes platform. You can find us. We also have obviously Twitter up and running, and we just launched a couple campaigns through a few sources. I do want to say that Brave New Coin has been excellent to work with. So they just did a nice write-up on us. Brioni over there did the write-up, and we have some various advertising, banner ads, and email blasts that are going out. So those are kind of our key channels right now.
How about the Waves Weekly? Are you guys in the Waves Weekly? I didn't see the new one. It just came out.
We're actually talking to them right now. We should be in one of the upcoming Waves Weeklies.
Oh man, did you guys catch that Grace Watson? Mamma mia.
Exactly.
Holy Jesus. God, I talk about distractions. I'm supposed to go on air with you, and then they show this picture.
I'm just going to say no comment here.
It's a compliment. Anyway, so you guys have a good team going on. So how much are you planning to raise in your ICO? What is there minimum?
Yeah, so Gabe alluded to this earlier, but we have kind of a tiered structure right now that outlines our various objectives depending on the amount that we raise. think we had a little disconnect and reconnect there, but so we've got a tiered structure that outlines what we want to accomplish depending on how much we raise. We have some pretty broad goals depending on how much capital we're able to bring in. We've essentially met the minimum investment right now, which is a $50,000 minimum. That enables us to go out and develop this mobile app, launch the digital currency itself, facilitate and nurture the relationships that we have with our industry partners already active and operating businesses in the cannabis business. We haven't had a chance really to touch on this yet, but we have our own business operation that is intended to generate revenue and income and support our platform. But we have some separate objectives, again, depending on the amount of capital that we raise. So our ultimate goal is 5 million, but a minimum of 50,000 really gets this project off the ground.
All right, very nice, man. I always wanted to go to Nevada. If you guys ever want to open up another dispensary, let me know. I'm definitely down. I'm on my way. Apparently, at the end of this month, I'm not going to have anything to do. Apparently, Verizon expired my contract, so I'll be chilling after this month.
That's funny. I mean, that's funny you mentioned that, though. That is exactly one of our goals. If we can raise a sufficient level of capital that would enable us to go out and target those production, cultivation, and dispensary licenses, we would be opening our own facility here in Las Vegas specifically. But if we do that, we'll keep you in mind.
On my way. I already packed my bag. So you guys you guys sound like brothers to me. You guys brothers?
Or just like we are not, friends? But we have known each other for a very long time.
Like PS41 elementary school?
Exactly.
Nice. That makes for good working together, the better you know each other.
Right. Yeah, we've been together on a few projects in the past, so we have a good working relationship.
You guys live near each other?
Vegas is a big city. Unfortunately, not.
That's relative. I mean, it's still it's 20-25 minutes away. So for us in Vegas, that's a lot of time. But I know some of you people that are listening that are from more congested cities, that's kind of a joke. But for us, 25 minutes is a bit of a drive.
Yeah, dude, are you kidding me? I walk that long. That's crazy. You know how long it takes me to get to work every morning? So it takes an hour and a half. You know how long it takes to come home? About an hour and a half to 2 hours of driving. But that's pretty cool. It's nice that you guys are close and you can collaborate. That's very important. So you have a minimum, you have a maximum of 5,000. So that's basically like not really having a maximum. So what's the website called?
You can find us at tokesplatform.org.
All right, guys, you could buy your Northern Lights at tokesplatform.org.
So just to clarify again, we're not physically selling any cannabis through any online channels. It's all going to go through legal and legitimate dispensaries. But the token itself, we want to get integrated with those dispensaries to make sure that those digital transactions can take place.
Okay, now that you got all that legal stuff out of the way, we'll talk after the show, right?
You got it.
You sound like a commercial, like you got scared for me. Like, oh my God, no, he didn't just say that. Just to make it clear, through legal dispensaries, that's how it's going down, all right, people? Legal dispensaries. There's nothing illegal going on here. Look the other way. Keep walking.
And it's not just the legalese though. We do want everybody to know that this is an above board project. We're not looking to do anything illegal. We want to make sure that this we think this project is a great opportunity for people that are interested in it, and it's something that has legs. So not to sound too legalese, but we think it's important to get that message out.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're dealing, if this goes out to mainstream, that is important. But I think most of our crowd are okay with not being legal. You know, I mean, why a lot of us get into crypto. It's because we don't want people knowing our business, right? It's none of your business what I do with my money, right? That's so it's my property. It's none of your business. Uh, and then on that note, there's that big conflict with the cannabis. You know what? It's a freaking plant. It's a freaking plant. All right. It's not like they're cooking up some cocaine inside some, in a laboratory. That's not how it works. It's a plant. You put the seed in the ground, boom, it grows like oregano. And so it's complete. You know what? They're just angry that they're not making any money off of it. That's why they're angry. Now they're finding ways to make money off of it by they're probably going to tax the crap out of the dispensaries, right?
Right, exactly. And there's been a considerable amount of tax revenue generated in states that have already legalized it. I mean, that's the primary incentive for states to legislate it and control it is the tax income.
Corruption, but corruption, brothers, it's all corruption. They want their hands in all the cookie jars. In the fact of the matter is that you get a few seeds and grow in your backyard. And it may not be the amazing stuff, that they have out there, but you could get by. And there's so many benefits, so many amazing benefits to cannabis. It's what do they say about the cannabinoids? I believe there was that guy. What's his name? Rick Simpson, right? There was this guy. Listen, people. There was this guy who was curing people with cannabis, curing them. They had cancer, stage 3 cancers, and they were curing him. And then what happened was they came down on him. The government came down. They got angry. What the hell are you doing curing people? What's the matter with you? Right? And they took out all his plants. They ripped out all his farms, his farm, his stock of plants that he was growing, and they took it all away from him. They brought him to court. And I'm not sure if this is on YouTube, but if you watch it, it makes the hairs on your neck stand up because everybody that he cured came to the courthouse. And when they tried to, when they questioned him, they all got up and said, he cured me. He cured me. He cured me. He cured me. And it's like, it was, and the judges was like staring like, I can't fucking put this guy in jail. He's curing. All these people are standing up vouching for him, saying that he cured me. So this, me personally, you see, I've seen a lot of people die from cancer lately. I had an uncle. My aunt just died a few months ago. My uncle died about 9 months ago. Both my mom's brother and sister. And, if they had access to some type of alternative, I believe they would have taken it. Instead of the only alternative, which is chemo these days. So what you guys doing, it's good. You're giving people access to things that are important. Possible cures. I'm not saying you're going to cure anybody, but that is a cure. Cannabis is a cure. And I'm happy you guys are leading the way. Eventually, crypto is going to be bigger, right? We predict. Right now, crypto is really tiny. What is it? A $12 billion market cap right now? It's nothing. That's nothing. When we get into the trillions on the Bitcoin market cap, I mean, each Bitcoin is probably going to be worth, anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000 each. So, just like that will grow, if bringing this cannabis business onto the blockchain is a really good idea. What made you guys think about doing this? Was this an overnight decision, or did you guys, somebody else tell you about it and you got the idea?
Well, first of all, thank you for those comments. We appreciate that, and we agree with you. Philosophically, largely believe that the money is in the treatment, not necessarily the cure. And that's kind of cliche to say, but it's true, and it's the scientific studies out there show that treatment through chemotherapy and the like doesn't really work, but still people that seems to be, or they believe that's their only option, and so that's what they pursue. But we think there are better solutions out there. We think cannabis can be one of those, and we want to enhance its ability to do what it can do. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's a sad thing. It really touches my heart. Because this guy, he made a wax, right? He made a wax. It wasn't even to get high. No one was getting high. It was a wax. He put it underneath your gums, 3-4 times a day, and people were getting cured from from the cannabinoids that he was growing. You guys hear about Rick Simpson? Rick
Yeah,
Simpson?
yeah, and people are still doing Rick Simpson style like distillations of marijuana. You can make your own Rick Simpson oil. It's still a prominent method that's out there.
I mean, if you guys could have that on the map, right? On your little, I believe it's going to be more than just recreational use. You might get people, even from New York, driving down over there, trying to, trying to get something that's going to help them, especially if it's legal over there. You might get just more than the recreational user or, the guy with severe back pain. You're going to get some, people with cancer that are going to want to look into alternative methods.
Absolutely. And that's part of our plan as well. Part of the business model we're proposing is to develop CBD-based products. And if you're not familiar, CBD is one of the predominant cannabinoids in the cannabis plant, but it's not psychoactive. So you can get some of these medical benefits that you might find in other extracts without the psychoactive effect, which some patients are averse to. So part of our proposal is to develop some CBD-based products, which is really a burgeoning market right now.
Very awesome, man. I'm very happy for you guys, and I really hope this goes well for you. What are your plans in the future for this, as far as marketing, and as far as you told me about the shop you want to open. So give me some future plans that I could count on that you will accomplish if I invest in this.
So the marketing will have to take two separate angles, right? Again, depending on which branch of our project you're referring to. But if you want to look at the technology stack itself with the digital currency and with the mobile application and all the features built in there, we're going to need to develop relationships with the dispensaries and with our partners in the industry. So that's going to be one early idea we've had is to provide those dispensaries outside of the first and foremost, the point of sale system. So to a degree that can be considered a marketing cost, a marketing expense, again, facilitating that relationship with the dispensary. So having the point of sale system in place that makes it easy for customers and entities to transact in Tokes, that's going to be step number one. Step number two, and again, an early idea, is to provide those dispensaries with a small allotment of Tokes for free that they can have, predicated though on them utilizing those to promote to their potential customers. A big problem that people aren't as familiar with in the marijuana business right now is that it is, to an extent, saturated, and competition is pretty fierce. It's not as easy to make money as everybody thinks it is. So we want to make sure we can help our partners get new customers, new feet in the door. So we're going to utilize that allotment of Tokes for them to run a promotion that says, come on in for, say, a free gram. And if the customer comes in, they'll have to load our application on their phone. They get essentially credited with some Tokes. They can turn right around and spend those on something like a gram, and they walk out with a free gram. The dispensary got a new customer potentially, and we got exposure to our platform. So those are kind of two key initiatives right now that we have on the marketing side of the technology platform.
Nice.
We have a lot. a lot of different ideas on how we would operate our business and how we would market our business, but those plans are going to be very dependent upon what we're actually executing on, and what we're executing on is going to depend on how much capital we raise and what we can target for a business operation.
So, but before raising capital and creating a business, it's it's traditional to have some type of business plan, right? Written out. Is there a white paper of some sort where people could look at the plan and and what they're going to invest in? So even for me, if I wanted to Twitter it out, right? Take a look at this plan. What do you guys think? And get more investors. Is there some type of plan on the website somewhere?
Yes, there is. We have a rather thorough white paper that's available for download over at tokesplatform.org.
All right, guys, tokesplatform.org. There is a white paper. Take a look at it. Any questions you have, we'll have Mike and Gabe back on, and we'll get more, more community engagement in the next one. This was not a show that was publicized. So if you guys are listening right now, you have the pleasure of listening to it before I even put it out. This is, I call it pre-recorded. Technically, we are live anyway, so there's no secrets and there's no hiding anything. If you're part of Waves platform, you're listening because I posted it. It's one of the benefits of being part of the community, right? So Tokes Slack. If you're on Tokes Slack, there's more of a likelihood you're going to hear about things first, right? Because you're right there.
Exactly.
So
right. We encourage our users to jump into our Slack. We've got a pretty active discussion going on the daily. I've been spending a few hours every day in there. So has Mike, and John is in there constantly, almost every waking hour, it seems like, our community manager, John, answering questions. So if anyone has any specific questions for us, we're very transparent. Jump in the Slack, read the history, and start talking to us.
All right, guys, you heard it there, and I thank everybody for coming on. We're going on 45 minutes, which is a good amount of time for a show. Did you guys want to add anything else? You want to let people know something mainstream, possibly? Those people out there that have no idea what crypto is, they don't know what blockchain is, they don't need to know. They just want to know how to get some hands on some tokes so they could get some grams.
I will make a quick comment just about our tokesplatform.org is intended to run as a nonprofit entity. We've been in the crypto community for years now. We think it's important to also not only spread the message of our platform and our project, but cryptocurrency as a whole and blockchain as a whole. We think it has tremendous potential value, in terms of technology. Tremendous potential. So, we do want to make sure that people are aware of crypto. We want to make it easier for mainstream to use crypto and enhance the image of cryptocurrency all around. So that's an important part for us, and part of what we're pushing going forward with the Tokes platform. So.
All right, very cool, very cool. Yeah, so we have good developers here. We have a great idea. We have a push for a good cause. And more importantly, we need you. So we need developers, more people getting interested. Is this open source? Is it going to be an open source project where people could come in and look at it?
The mobile app will most likely not be open source. It's that's going to be something that's private and developed by us. But obviously, the fact that the token right now is operating on top of Waves, it's open source to the extent that Waves is open source.
All right, very cool. And it's going to work on the Waves blockchain, fellas. Another good reason. Waves is one of the fastest blockchains being created right now through a code called Scala. It is the latest in creation. It might even surpass Ethereum from Ethereum doesn't clean itself up, and they have developers such as Wolf Zero, which is this guy. This guy, I've known him way back. He used to make incredible mining code for Litecoin back in the day, and he's been doing it for a long time. He's a really good coder, and I mean, he used to show me tricks with mining, with his own special code, and I would use the Wolf miner, and I would get so much more mega hash out of my miners. So yeah, that's really cool that you got him on. I like him. So
right, we have a history of working with him for mining projects as well. A little later than Litecoin, but yeah, that was the start of our relationship with him as well. Was mining optimization back when that was still a profitable enterprise.
Yeah, he took me. He's like, hey, he's like, try this. And he gave me his own special version, and it was really cool. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, you can see I've been around a little while.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So thank you for coming on the show. I expect you to be back sometimes before the end of your ICO. When is the end of your ICO?
So January 15th is going to be the closing date of the ICO.
Oh, that's not too far.
Actually, I should also mention there that's since you brought it up, we do have various tiers depending on when you get in on the investment, and so it gets more expensive the longer you wait. So we've got 3 days left in our round one of funding. So you kind of get outside of our bonus day, you get the highest amount of tokes for your investment. So take that into consideration when you're looking at getting in on this ICO.
All right, cool beans. All right, guys. So thanks for coming on the show, everybody. I hope you enjoy your night, and tomorrow we might have another show. I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not, but it probably will. So it'll be a surprise, just like this one. I'll announce it on the Slack. I'll give it to these Tokes guys also. They could announce it on their Slack if they want, and that's it. All right, everybody, enjoy your night. Love you all. This is Luke signing out.
Thank you, Luke.
Thanks, guys.